A few weeks ago, a friend asked if I'd be interested in restoring this old chair. There's no special meaning behind it. She just said she'd like to see it redeemed. Why not? As you can see, the chair was in pretty rough shape. All the joints were either loose or completely separated, and the seat was in pieces. The one kind of unbelievable thing, though, was that under this broken seat was this remarkably well-preserved tag, which gave me the origin of this piece. Here's the deal. Most all of this restoration was completed using sandpaper, so it's not exactly a riveting video. So instead of me telling you all about the stuff I did to restore the chair while you watch, I'll give you a little history lesson as you watch the process. Okay, so I wanted to do whatever I could to find out when this chair was made. Everything and everyone has a story, and I was curious. So based on this paper tag, I looked at the High Point Bending and Chair Company, kind of an odd name for a business, right? Well, the company was originally created as the High Point Bending Company for the express purpose of using industrial steaming equipment to make curved wooden components of horse-drawn carriages. But after a while, they decided to apply their resources to enter the furniture market, particularly chairs. And in 1904, they changed their name to include this new line of production. It was the turn of the century, and the times they were a-changin'. The golden age of horse-powered vehicles was coming to a close, the economy was booming, and, I don't know, maybe people were sitting in chairs a lot more. Well, after a devastating fire in 1907, the company wasted no time. By 1908, they had rebuilt and reopened a new factory where they continued to make chairs of all kinds. In 1956, the company changed its name to the Bowling Chair Company, so based on the tag here, this chair was manufactured somewhere between 1904 and 1956. Cool, but 52 years is quite a spread. Thankfully, there were a few other clues that helped me narrow down the production window of this here mighty fine chair. The biggest hint was the hardware. The screws used to hold this chair together were kind of a heavy gauge compared to more modern dining style chairs. Also, they were flathead screws, which almost no one uses if they don't have to. Flathead screwdrivers tend to slip out either side of the slot and pop out of the slot as the screw gets tighter. This is known as cam out. Enter John P. Thompson of Portland, Oregon, who patented the revolutionary self-centering crosshead screw in 1932. This cutting-edge technology solved the cam out problem and allowed screws to be torqued down more tightly. In 1935, Henry F. Phillips, an enterprising businessman, purchased the rights from Thompson and promptly named the invention after himself. And so the Phillips screw was born. Like I said, Phillips was a businessman, and by the late 1930s had managed to get the entire auto industry moved over to the Phillips head system, to the joy of thousands of mechanics and tens of thousands of their knuckles. It wasn't long after that, maybe a few years, that virtually every other screw-using industry followed suit. This means that my new chair likely wasn't manufactured much beyond 1940. But wait, there's more. Most of the High Point Bending and Chair Company's chair labels had a wider tag with space to stamp a pattern number and finish type, like this one pictured here. My tag, however, has no such information, so my guess is that my chair and label were produced before the company was organized enough to start labeling their products in this manner. You see this sort of thing all the time. Small startups are focused on survival and growth, and it takes some time and success before finally someone says, look guys, we got to get organized so we can identify batches, lots, large-scale orders, and so on. So my suspicion is that my chair was made by a smaller, less organized version of this company, which would make it a good deal older than 1940. Besides getting organized, High Point did a good job of keeping up with emerging furniture trends as fashions changed. This chair is made from white oak, native to North Carolina, and belongs to the mission-style type of furniture design. White oak was used in almost all furniture construction from 1890 to 1930. All this, plus the law of averages, leads me to believe this chair was made sometime in the 1920s, conservatively. And there you have it, a 100-year-old chair, maybe more, completely refurbished and reassembled with the original hardware. Not perfect, but really no worse for the wear. And all thanks to a friend with a vision and a little paper tag that just wouldn't let go. Folks, as you go through life, hang on to two things. First, who you are is who God made you. Hang on to that identity. Don't lose your tag. Second, when you find someone who recognizes your potential when you're at your worst, Hang on to that friendship and don't ever let them get away. Till next time.